Project Diablo 2 sought to remake the classic action role-playing hack-and-slash legend into something modern and clean. It succeeded greatly in updating the game mechanics, skills, and endgame content. However, its focus has largely been on the action and hack-and-slash sections of Diablo 2's description. While limited by the processes of the time, Diablo 2 is still a role-playing game, and considering the immense success of the PD2 team on other aspects of the game, I believe they could update the role-playing section into something more modern, conform with RPGs of the modern era. I'm Lawsuit, and I'll be your guide on some proposed changes to make PD2 more like the RPGs of the late 2010s and 2020s that we loved so much. To start, our mission should be to correct the timeline of our current dimension and set the path right. We need to make sure Diablo 3 never happens, or at least make it less shit. The writers for Diablo 2 kneecapped themselves because making Deckard Cain so old is bad. I get he's meant to be wise and near all-knowing, but his age caught up to the ever-changing times in Diablo 3. Worse yet, they made the decision to end him by letting what looks like the runner-up to a bad season of RuPaul's Drag Race kill him. Then we got fucking Leah, who tried to make us care about her, but let's be honest, she has the personality of Plank from Ed, Edd and Eddy. We need Cain to be young again, and as this mod probably can't support or afford new voice acting or super updated graphics, I suggest we use assets from another game. This will be fine, as AAA developers are often friendly to mod support and fair use of their assets. We need to use the assets for Preston Garvey from Fallout 4. Now before you hit that downvote and dislike button, hear me out. We need a young Cain so Diablo 3 doesn't happen. But we can't sacrifice the diversity Cain brings in 2021. So it's either Preston Garvey or it's Augustus Cole from Gears of War, who... Yeah, no. We need to make Deccan Carvey follow us around our current act, always reminding us that we have items that need identifying. He'll mark it in your inventory. Every time he marks something, it loses -5% to all stats, because you took too long to ID the item. This helps us not forget things to ID, and stops Diablo 3 from sucking so much, because Cain can be around for Diablo 3 now, right? Hey, it's a win-win. This also improves Fallout 4, though, because we can cross-mod that game to have old Cain in it, which fixes Fallout 4's storyline too. For those of you who don't know, you have to become the leader of the Minutemen, because Preston Garvey is apparently an incompetent cunt. Why do I need to help you recreate the Minutemen, Garvey? You're young and spry and you know their history. You fucking do it. Making Garvey into old Cain gives us a reason to be named Minutemen General. Old Cain is old as fuck and can't keep doing this shit anymore. We fixed 2 games with one simple character switch. This is a no-brainer, really. Next, we need to sass up our player characters a little. Every modern RPG has one thing that puts it over the top. Is it well-written characters with interesting backstories we care about, implicitly, because humans need pack bonding? Fuck no. We need diversity and sex. Everyone forgets Mass Effect was groundbreaking for taking the sex scene from a hidden controversy like Grand Theft Auto to a full-fledged phenomenon, to the point we needed 4 playthroughs of Dragon Age just to make sure we got our player characters' dick wet on everyone in camp. The Diablo 2 characters also have a canon. All 8 were technically there for the whole adventure. This makes it so easy to just add models from the characters around camp. And again, we have the assets to steal from Dragon Age Origins. We can also add that much-needed diversity via sexual orientations. And end the controversy surrounding old Amazon from D2R. Is the Amazon just old, or is she, dare we say it, non-binary? First, no, she's not fucking non-binary. How is it even a fucking thing for a while? Look, if you want a place in the middle of a gender spectrum, you inherently need to have endpoints to stabilize what's in the middle and non-conforming. So if you ruin the essence of femininity with the grace, skill, and poise of the Amazon, your little middle ground gets muddied and becomes meaningless. The Amazon is the abject peak of feminine warrior spirit, and will fucking remain so, with the barbarian obviously on the other end. So these two characters have to remain our straight options for romance dialogue. That leaves us Natalia. Now, we can't make the Sork non-binary because she already checks diversity with kind of East Asian-y. Is Natalia non-binary or even transgender in our rewrite? Of course she fucking is. She has dick knives on her hands for weapons. She's the walking, talking epitome of big dick slinging, non-binary, diversity pumping badassery we need to bring Diablo 2 into 2021. But we have to throw conservatives a bone here, because we're adding trans people. So I suggest we steal voice assets from the best non-binary character ever written in history. Lieutenant Vasquez from James Cameron's Aliens, 1986. Check this clip out.
Hey, Vasquez. Have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
Oh, Vasquez. You're just too bad.
This makes our transgender character into a pseudo-fascist, military-loving thug. She's now a bad bitch. She's so bad if you asked her, hey, are you offended you got called a bitch in your rewrite for PD2? She'd respond with something like, offended? What are you, gay? Well, at least I hope you are. And then she flashes her massive dick at your player character, leaving you thinking, the world is possibly ending. Would anyone find out? And bam, we have our third romance option. I'll do the voice acting for this for free if we can't afford it, senpai. This should appease progressive players and conservative players, and therefore I see no problem that could possibly arise from this. Also, since we're adding romance options, let's do a shout out to the GTA sex scene controversy. If you approach the necromancer for a little boning, that was lazy even for me, he turns you down, but you kill all Act 5 bosses in under 5 minutes of in-game time, he'll accept your proposition. You get to gangbang the blood golems. Let that image sink into your mind for a moment. Luckily, the rest of the cast is diverse enough we can do whatever because of the following. 1, the paladin is black-ish, so we can just standard bisexual him. The Sork is Asian-ish, so we can just standard bisexual her. And 3, no one fucks the druid because he's a furry, and even that shit doesn't need to be added in 2021. Yet, thank God. Technically, we need to add a Native American character, but they're not a big enough voter demographic to be included. With these 2 simple steps, we have fixed Diablo 3 and brought our game into the modern era. I look forward to these changes being implemented for Season 4, and I'll see you all there. This shitpost has been provided to you because I still despise price checks so goddamn much, and I swear to God, if one of you price checks a unique item that you could just find on the trade site, I'm gonna keep writing shit like this, and you know you read it. Later.